Okay, we rolling?
We're rolling.
Look good?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey everybody, Angelo here from AdBank. I'm here with Gary Vaynerchuk, the man himself. I'm going to make this short and sweet here for you here, Gary.
No worries.
Now, people credit
Thanks for having
you.
me on.
Oh, thanks for being here. What do you say to that? So people credit you with being a pioneer of social media marketing. You know, this is a long time now that you were a vocal advocate for it, while people were still, saying that it's a fad. It's a
Yes.
fad. And you were doubling down when those people were saying that.
Yes.
I want to ask you about this because it's not something that you've talked about often, but it seems to be coming up more and more. Are you seeing similarities between what happened with social media back in the day with what's happening with blockchain and cryptocurrency today?
100%.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Bitcoin is either MySpace or it's Facebook, I don't know. But blockchain is social media. So at the macro, blockchain's going nowhere, right? Like blockchain's here to stay forever, and it's a very big deal, right? But we spend too much time debating Litecoin and Bitcoin and Ethereum without understanding what's happening. So we used to debate MySpace and Friendster and things like that. And so I think people get caught up in the layer above too much without understanding what's actually happening. Taking it further back, because I've been on the internet game a lot longer, the internet is here to stay, but what browser we use or what search engine we use is still up for debate. So whether it's Yahoo or Ask Jeeves or, right? I don't know. And by the way, it was Yahoo, and then 6 years later, it was Google, right?
Yeah.
So I think, to me, what's fascinating is blockchain is check. Is Bitcoin the brand of currency, or is it the Yahoo and MySpace, or is it going to be able to hold because it's a little bit different? It's currency, it's not a utility. I don't know, but yes, absolutely, that's how I see it.
So when we think about kind of the wider applications of blockchain,
Yes,
to me that's very fascinating and something that I'm very passionate about.
us doing a lease exchange, right?
Yes, exactly.
You confirming that you consumed media. Like there is real applications that the conversation is not having.
And the idea of just removing the middleman in virtually any industry is a massive paradigm shift. At VaynerMedia, do you find clients are asking you about
No.
blockchain at all? So it's still pretty under the radar.
Clients are still debating if Facebook is ROI positive.
Wow.
Fortune 500 companies don't do that. That's up to entrepreneurs. That's why people make money. Like there would be no entrepreneurs if big businesses moved fast enough. If a battleship moved like a speedboat, there would be no need for a speedboat. The reason entrepreneurship is so fun is because AT&T and Verizon and Rogers and Walmart and Costco don't move fast enough and don't invest and don't take risk because they play a 90-day publicly traded game, and we play in let's make a bet, hopefully it works out game. Marathon versus sprints. But I'm not emotional about that. I think that is an advantage, not a disadvantage. Most of my ideological, technical friends make the mistake of trying to convince people instead of getting value out of. I wasn't out and about in 2006 and 7 and 8 yelling about social media because I wanted to convince everybody. I was doing it so that 10 years later somebody would be sitting here saying that I was a pioneer because I was historically correct. So I have no emotion to convince people that the blockchain is here to stay. I want to become the best at the game so that when it's here, I have the advantage.
So how is blockchain kind of fitting into what you're doing and where you're going? Like, because you obviously, you've put a lot of time into social media tools that went nowhere in some cases, and other times, took off in a big way. When you look at blockchain and cryptocurrencies, what's kind of on your radar right now that you see in 5 years or even 2 years?
I'm less of a trader. I don't get as emotional about buying the right currency. I really don't. I think that's incredibly interesting, and mazel tov to people who spend 1,000 and make $1 million. That's incredible. God bless. That's not where I get excited. I'm excited about blockchain from understanding that it is a place to monetize social currency. So I don't think people understand what what having a great reputation means. In the 1920s and 30s, it meant that you were the old guy on the porch that everybody walked by and gave respect. You know, in the 50s and 60s, it was the place where you started getting endorsement deals and things of that nature. I don't think people actually understand what I'm actually up to, which is if I can be the most valuable human to the most amount of people, that will get very interesting over the long haul. That's where I see blockchain in this.
Fascinating.
We gotta wrap.
Okay.
That was great.
Awesome.
Let's do one more.
Okay.
Okay, so I do just have one more question, and it's a little more tying into
ahead.
advertising.
Please.
Advertisers lost almost $17 billion last year to ad fraud.
Awesome.
56% of web traffic is driven by bots.
Cool.
What do you think it will take to put pressure on the industry to address these problems?
Well, first, we should address the way Nielsen scores television, print, and outdoor, and other scoring mechanisms, Millard Brown and PR. Like, all of it is being mismeasured.
Yeah.
Like, it will take advertisers to start spending their money more wisely and stop giving up their money to holding companies to spend it as freely as they want to.
So do you think that a lack of transparency and these different bodies that are kind of grading their own homework is playing into that problem? And
100%.
Yeah.
And that's where blockchain and advertising gets interesting.
Yeah. Thanks, Gary.
You're welcome.
Andrew,